I have my father, Devendra Narain, to read Taurus Man with us. Thank you, Dad, for taking time out and doing this.
It's been a pleasure for me. I didn't know my son could write so well.
Thank you. Dad, I wanted to check, are there any specific highlights out of the chapter that you have read and enjoyed? Any specific points that you could completely relate with, or something that you just couldn't relate with?
Very frankly, not just because you're my son, but I would definitely agree with 90% of what has been written because it identifies with me, my personality, my character traits, my life, what has been and what is today.
So maybe secretly I may have written a biography for you.
Possibly, but I have not told you all.
Okay. In this particular chapter where it says, "Is there more to his persona?" There is something in quotes that I put that says, "Action speaks louder than words," is how the Taurus man is. Do you subscribe to this?
I totally agree with that because I am a very practical and pragmatic man, being a Taurian, which you've already specified in as many words.
Right.
For me, I don't talk by using my mind. I use my heart. I talk with my heart. I do everything with my heart, whether it's business, my family, relationships, just about anything in this world. And I think you would know it better than me.
Absolutely.
Studying me in all these years, so I personally feel that I could be wrong in my judgments in life, a few decisions in life, which I suppose goes with everyone in this world. But believe you me, I have no regrets of any nature whatsoever, because whatever my heart told me to do, I did, and what it told me not to do, I did not. So, comparing it, I think I've led a very, very good life being a Taurian, and I'm very, very happy being one. I wouldn't change it for another star sign.
Oh, that's so good to hear. Thank you, Dad, for being with us and doing this. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, and I'm very, very proud of you, Chetan. God bless.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Taurus, 20th April to 21st May. Taurus Man. Very cautious is how I would describe a Taurus male. He is a level-headed person who likes to think over everything before taking a decision. His calm and composed demeanor conceals a fertile and active mind. One of the most industrious of zodiac signs, a Taurus man believes in himself and his ability to achieve everything with hard work. Although patient most of the times, he can take on a stubborn stance if provoked. Make sure you don't rub him the wrong way, and you will have the most patient and understanding man. Here's a male who understands his role as the head of the family and will do everything in his power to provide for the well-being of his loved ones. Trust him implicitly, and you will win his trust and loyalty in return for life. How can you identify a Taurus man in a crowd? It is easy to spot a Taurus man in a crowd as he is extremely animated in conversation and discussion. He will always try to dominate with his views, leaving very little room for suggestions or opinions from others. He has a hovering eye, checking out things and people. Broadly speaking, there are two types of Taurus men. 70% of them are aggressive and 30% passive. While dressing up, he definitely makes a classic statement with his clothes. Although there is nothing distinctive about his style, the way he dresses up and carries himself evokes a natural respect for this gentleman. A Taurus man is extremely flirtatious and not shy to strike conversations with strangers, particularly with women. To Taurus men, every situation is a battlefield where they have to win. Although many are able to hide it cleverly, they are self-obsessed and can be quite selfish at times. This doesn't mean that a Taurus man is not generous or compassionate, because he is both, and it just means to him he is the first priority. What are the key features of his personality? The Taurus male excels in the role of a provider. He is a thoroughbred family man with a bachelor's heart. Confused? Well, here comes the explanation. His list of wants isn't too long. He would want things that are necessary to make life comfortable for himself and his family. Luxuries can wait. Of course, the definition of luxury depends on his social status too. But overall, you won't find a Taurian who is pining for opulence. No matter how settled he is in his family life, the bachelor in him will often peep out and make himself obvious. He enjoys the bouts of beer at the sports bar with his cronies. You may also catch him flirting harmlessly with his female colleagues. He will stay in touch with his college friends, probably do all the things he did in the days of yore, like clubbing, playing snooker, watching football matches with them. But come dinner time, and he will amble home for a warm meal and a good night's sleep. The Taurus man has strong likes and dislikes, and food being at the top of his likes list, decide on dating him only if you are good at cooking. But don't expect him or allow him to try his hand at cooking. He is far too conservative to step into the predominantly feminine territory. And if he does, be rest assured it would be a complete mess. True to the symbol of his sun sign, the Taurus man is as stubborn as a bull. Once he has made up his mind or formed an opinion about anyone, he is not likely to change it for the world. Same is the case with his decisions regarding life. If he has decided to pursue a particular path, no matter how hard you try to dissuade him, he won't budge an inch. Some bull, I say. However lean a bull may be physically, he can work like a Trojan. Same goes for the Taurus man. His ability to work remains unmatched with males from the other zodiac signs. Be it mental calculations or actual physical effort, for the Taurus guy it is all a day's work. Usually not known to be satisfied with mediocre living, he yearns for a good life. But he is not greedy, and once he has achieved what he started out for, he would be content with it. Not one to believe in the sky's the limit motto, that's a Taurus man for you. How is a Taurus man on the following aspects? Appearance. Taurus men have sharp, communicative eyes and usually a big face. They lead an active life and are into some kind of physical exercise. Could be a sport, working out at a gym or yoga. Because of this, they usually have a decently built body and a radiant glow about them. When it comes to clothes, he prefers to stick to classics. You will usually find him in polo tees, checkered or striped shirts, and in bright, solid colors like orange. Ambition. To a Taurus man, ambition comes with a natural instinct to provide. Conservative in thought and action, especially concerning business, he is shrewd enough to attain success in whatever profession he chooses. Being self-disciplined, he takes work and subjects related to work very seriously. Ego and self-respect. Nobody has a bigger ego than a Taurus male. While he can come across as extremely humble, compassionate, caring, and easygoing, the slightest of discomfort caused to this self-respecting, egotistic man can make him launch off at you. Responsibility. Extremely responsible. A Taurus man is usually known to be a mama's boy. To him, his mother is the first lady in every sense. He is able to relate to her contributions and sacrifices. He also learns to take on responsibility early in life. This is also because of his ego and need to be financially independent. Etiquettes. Being self-disciplined, a Taurus man wants to exercise right etiquettes at all times. But a certain part of him is extremely carefree and allows him to let down his guard and be casual. However, true to himself, he expects a lot of discipline from others too. Taurus men are found to exercise chivalry from time to time, which to some could look pretentious, and honestly, it could be so too. What is his approach towards life? Although a Taurus man is most of the time driven by his emotions and is also sentimental, he is level-headed enough to be realistic in his approach towards life. He manages to keep a clear head thanks to his pragmatic way of thinking. He also prefers to be a leader, which makes him a good entrepreneur. The passive and sedate nature of a Taurian male allows him to have an easygoing attitude towards life. However, that by no means he wouldn't want a setup that isn't near perfect. He likes to maintain a comfortable home for his family and himself, building on his wealth slowly and steadily. The Taurus man believes in maintaining a balance between work and family and would not be content with compromising on quality family time. You'll rarely find a Taurus man who's gung-ho about being a part of the rat race. However, he draws great pleasure from acquiring the latest gadgets and gizmos. These possessions are not for status symbol. You'll often find him splurging on them to satisfy the male Taurian's genuine interest in technology and new things. How does he score on the following points? Cynicism. A Taurus man can be overly cynical as he is known to have his way with most issues in life. If he cannot get things done his way, he will end up throwing tantrums and at times create unpleasant situations. Another point that might mislead people into thinking of Taurus men as overly cynical is their habit of taking in every situation rather slowly. Given their cautious nature, they like to take stock of things and analyze any situation, person or problem at hand thoroughly. Lest they take a wrong decision or give an incorrect judgment, they think a lot before arriving at a solution. This might be mistaken for cynicism, whereas it is actually just extra carefulness on their part. Although a positive thinker, he is always on the lookout for the devil's advocate. This wariness may make him come across as a pessimist. Suspicion and jealousy. This man is suspicious about everything, an attribute born out of his insecure nature. A Taurus man is the most insecure of all zodiac signs for unknown reasons. Though he camouflages his suspicion with words like intuition, instinct, and sixth sense, he is actually suspicious about everything and everybody, family members, spouse, children, girlfriends, household help, drivers, etc. Clubbed with his inherent suspicion, a Taurus man is overtly possessive and therefore overly jealous too. However, his jealousy is reserved for matters of the heart and does not include success or material prosperity. Himself usually very fair to every relationship, a Taurus man gives 100% to them. Well, maybe 90% is more reasonable, but he then expects people around to treat him with the same amount of dedication. It is strange how his measuring meter never matches up to his expectations. In his mind, a struggle is forever on between what he expects of you versus what you can do for him, and you eventually lose. Don't take him to be unthankful. It's just that he wants more out of people all the time. When jealous or suspicious, he can make life miserable for people, create scenes, quarrel, and be loud and aggressive. Dishonesty and infidelity. A Taurus man is not likely to take dishonesty, infidelity lying down. And since he is very trusting by nature, once he begins to trust you though, the slightest of deviation in the dedication and loyalty of others can cause irreparable damage to his feelings. Hardships. He takes hardships as challenges and always manages to bounce back from wherever he is. Since he is an earth sign, he needs to be grounded and requires a support system in times of hardships. If he is spiritually inclined and a believer, he will draw strength from his faith. But I have often found many a Taurus man falling victim to superstitions, rituals, and beliefs during trying times. Success and failure. In spite of being loud most of the times, Taurus men are subtle when it comes to success. I guess it goes with their conservative nature. They never gloat or bask in the glory of their success. To them, success is just another milestone, and very likely after each milestone, they ask themselves, what next? Being great sportsmen, Taurus men take failure in good spirit. They believe in learning from their mistakes and are graceful in accepting failure. You will always find a Taurus man following the philosophy of let the best man win. This should not be taken as a sign of weakness, as he is a die-hard competitor who is just as good at accepting failure as a lesson to better himself. Host. Known to be very generous, a great percentage of Taurus men would invite people to dinner at the drop of a hat. While playing host, they are detailed and like to see that everything is taken care of. They are also very attentive towards their guests. Guest. As a guest, a Taurus man will generally make himself comfortable. Being a typical foodie, he will judge everything on the dining table from all possible perspectives: tastes, quality, quantity, look and texture. While he can be really generous with compliments if he enjoys the food, he can also be extremely critical if he does not. How does he handle difficult situations? A Taurus man handles quarrels like a baby. He can be cranky, rebellious, loud, argumentative, and generally obnoxious, and this can last till he receives an apology. If not, then once calm, he will apologize willingly, in spite of his ego. This is when he is also likely to realize that he overplayed his part or overreacted to the situation at hand. An apology is the easiest way of sorting out matters for him, as he cannot tolerate an unpleasant atmosphere around him for too long. A Taurus is easily angered. When pushed beyond his limits, he can let his lid flip, and you would then be witness to the darkest side of his personality. So dark, you would wish the lid had never flipped in the first place. What is his characteristic weakness? If there is something that can weaken this man, it's emotion. And our man can quite dramatic in that arena. When he has to take a decision, a Taurus man will always find himself in a crossfire between emotions, that is heart, and practicality, that is mind. Another of his shortcomings is his trusting nature. Once comfortable with somebody, he is known to trust that person implicitly. This for him is a weakness, especially since, in the long run, people tend to take undue advantage of his trust. But with maturity and experience, a Taurus man learns to overcome this weakness. Ego and anger are the two sides of a double-edged sword that Taurus men carry with themselves. Very few Taurus men know how to deal with their ego and or anger. Usually, they end up doing more harm to themselves than others in moments of ego or anger display. One of the funniest things that I have noticed in Taurus men and deem it necessary to put under their weaknesses is the fact that they are incorrigible gossips. Gossiping is a habit they deplore in others, especially their better halves, yet they love to indulge in the same. Very rightly, they would carry out their gossiping sessions under the guise of information exchange. Is there something more to this persona? The Taurus man is the perfect mascot for the dictum, actions speak louder than words. Passionate getaways, perfect sunsets, flowers and scented sweets, this lover knows how to win and keep his lady's heart. Though romance never ebbs out of a Taurian male's life, with gifts and outings playing an important part in his expression of gratitude for you, for the efforts you put in to make this relationship work. A Taurus man is known to be reliable and dependable. You can trust him with your darkest secret. But don't forget that he likes to gossip too. So let the secrets you share with him be less meaty, else he might just get tempted to share them with the world. But on the whole, when it comes to work, duties and responsibilities, he is extremely dependable. If anyone's averse to change, it's our Taurian male. He does not like change, be it his toothpaste brand or the arrangement of objects in his office table. He finds it difficult, nay, almost impossible to accept change. And this stands true for his opinions also. Once a Taurus male has made up his mind, it is very difficult to change it. And this is especially true of his opinions about certain people. He is also likely to hold grudges and not forget an unpleasant encounter very easily. The Taurus man is one man who takes his gender very seriously. He is conservative in his outlook and somehow doesn't believe in equality when it comes to men and women, and is very clear on certain things a man should do, and things that a woman should do. Within the entire existence of Taurus men in the world, 80% are conservative in their thinking, while only 20% are able to follow the live and let live maxim in the context of men-women equality. Most Taurus men I have known are not necessarily opulent. They are not the run-of-the-mill kind either. A Taurus man will build his assets, including money, as he climbs up the ladder in a steady and stable manner. He is in no hurry to be rich and would rather have a secure bank balance than high stakes in a risky business. Another strange observation that I have made about Taurus men is their sense of humor. They thoroughly enjoy slapstick comedy, while one-liners, graffiti, witticisms, especially sarcastic ones, are lost on them. A Taurian man likes to make others laugh and will come up with millions of jokes and funny anecdotes, but you will rarely find him laughing at other people's jokes. Funny man, this one. How should one deal effectively with a Taurus man? A yes sir person can do amazingly well with a Taurian male. However, one shouldn't stop at yes. Actually, work should get done too. Perhaps the best way of handling a Taurus man is by pleasing his palate. The saying, "the way to a man's heart is through his stomach," seems to have originated exclusively for Taurus men. So intense is their love for food. The Taurus man is no exception to mood swings either. So, if you catch him in a good mood, you can get whatever you want out of him. The reverse too is true though, so beware. How does he handle money matters? Most Taurus men are sincere and hard-working, and for them money is a byproduct of hard work and hence very dear to them. If he has access to considerable amounts of money, or if he has had a windfall, a Taurus male will be generous with his spending. Similarly, in moderate or bad times, he would turn extremely conservative and cautious with it. Taurus men are extremely good at managing finances, and you can trust them to keep some extra bucks tucked away somewhere for the proverbial rainy day. With money, the Taurus man is far-sighted. He likes to save first and spend later. He will plan for his future as well as that of his family. His ideas about money tend to get conservative here, and he would give similar advice to others too. The fear of being dependent on others in old age is another reason why Taurus male wants to be backed by a strong bank balance. How is a Taurus male on the professional front? At work, a Taurus man is extremely aggressive and competitive. He is an achiever who carries in his head a go-getter attitude. He is also creative, sincere, and hard-working. So if you are looking forward to working with a Taurus man, be sure you imbibe these qualities. Remember, he likes to have what he gives to the world. At work, you will find him to be extremely meticulous and detailed. And when it comes to rewarding sincere efforts, he is not one to keep a tight hand. While he can be very generous and easygoing boss, when rubbed the wrong way or his work messed around with, he could instantly turn into a demon. In such a situation, he is not likely to stop at anything, including publicly humiliating his employees. But this usually comes after he has given a few warnings. How is he on various relationship roles? As a son, he will be devoted to his parents, especially his mother, but he would prefer to do his own thing, and it would be quite a task for his parents to get him to do anything else. He shows signs of independence from an early age, and this includes independent decision making. As a spouse, he will be extremely supportive, and his participation and contribution towards his family will be to the fullest. For him, family comes first, and he will give his 100% to it in terms of effort, money, time, etc. Although he respects the capabilities of his spouse, he likes to be a step ahead of her. This goes back to his conservative thoughts on gender equality. A Taurus man displays great responsibility towards his children. He is capable of foregoing the joys of life himself, but will make sure his wife and children are well taken care of. With a Taurian father, the children will have no dearth of toys and clothes, as also his time and love. While he would indulge them and be patient with their childishness, he would expect them to learn the lessons of life too. As a friend, a Taurus man is likely to outdo himself. He is very passionate about his friendships and believes implicitly in the adage, "A friend in need is a friend indeed." He would have only a few select friends, but to him their friendship would be for a lifetime. How is he when he is alone? A Taurus man is no Robinson Crusoe. He hates being alone, and if put in such a spot, he will end up being cranky. Being a family-centric man, he likes to have people around him, and he will be seen chattering like a magpie most of the times. Given his high emotional quotient, he can also turn into an emotional wreck if left to his own devices for too long. So if your love interest is a Taurus man, make sure he gets abundant doses of your company, as here is one man who just can't be on his own. How is he when in love? If you have dated a Taurian or married to one, you'd agree that being made to feel really special is one of this charmer's greatest talents. Though he might not be too expressive about his feelings for you initially, he is slow in falling in love. Once he has your attention and knows that you're his, be ready for a lifetime of romance. A Taurus man is romantic in a truly bookish sense. He is your knight in shining armor who would take delight in surprising you with gifts and flowers. Nothing pleases him more than clambering up to his girlfriend's balcony at midnight with a pastry in hand to wish her a happy birthday. Not one to shy away from expressing his love and possession, the Taurus male wouldn't hesitate in indulging in public display of affection either. When in love or out of it, he will write poems and sing songs. He is generous and extremely verbal with compliments when due. And yes, this one is a stickler for remembering dates from your first movie together to your last fight. He will remember everything. What does he look for in his partner? Let me tell you what he looks for his life partner. A lady. Yes, a Taurus man wants his girlfriend or wife to be a complete lady in every sense of the term. He would prefer a homemaker who is an excellent cook. Given his love for food and eye for detail, he would want a well-set table to welcome him after a hard day's work. While he can be indulgent enough to accept undercooked pasta and overcooked spaghetti occasionally, you better not make it a habit. Like I mentioned earlier, He is extremely critical of food, and your culinary skills will be forever put to test. Here's a good piece of advice. Cook food like his mother prepares, and your man will be as pleased as Punch. As a homemaker, he will also expect his wife to keep a good house for him, one that is clean and warm and is welcoming place for him, his family, and his select group of friends. With his penchant for hard work, a Taurus man likes to chill out at home. On his day off, you will usually find him lazing around, and hence he needs a partner who understands his need to rest. He looks for complete support and trust in his better half, and is equally willing to give it to her too. Like any other person, a Taurus male wants ample space for himself. Since he has clearly drawn charts regarding the duties and responsibilities of a man and a woman in his mind, he wants his partner to fall in step with these ideas. So if your man belongs to the sign of the bull, don't ever be critical of him, especially in public, and respect his abilities to the fullest. Since he will trust you from the very core of his being, don't ever think of playing games with him, because the ensuing emotional outburst might damage your relationship forever. While dating him, you should be ultra feminine. He likes those knickknacks you carry in your handbag, as also your silk scarf and diamond studs. While other males which size up a girl with a sweeping glance, the typical Taurian will take delight in details. So be sure you are well groomed on your date with him. Nothing will miss his discerning eye, not even the subtle shade of your lip gloss. Dress up elegantly, wear mild perfume, and carry accessories that make a statement. Club these personal charms with good food, warm ambience, and stimulating conversation, and your Taurus date will be enchanted. One aspect of the Taurus male that comes across rather strongly is his sensuality. You can't miss it while dating him. He is extremely manly, and his masculinity will be seen in the way he carries himself and takes charge of the situation. If you are meeting him at a restaurant or coffee shop, don't jump the line and place the order. You wouldn't earn any brownie points for that. He is the man here, at the helm of things, and you better not forget it. Also, don't be in a rush. Rushing won't help you at all. The Taurus guy will go at his own pace. For him, romance has to be relished and each day savored like every bite of a chocolate chip ice cream. But once your romance is underway, you will be blessed with the most caring boyfriend. Not only will you see the gentleman in him at its best, but he will also use his sensuality to floor you. The Taurus male has a strong sense of aesthetics and adores music. You would need to take this into account while selecting gifts for him. He is also sentimental by nature, and so his mailbox is quite likely to be full of your emails, as his mobile phone would be with your text messages. Go for a second date with this man only if you are sure you would want to continue seeing him for life. Yes, that's how sentimental a Taurian can be. He doesn't believe in makeshift relationships. He won't indulge in senseless dating or a meaningless relationship. If he is interested in you, it is likely to result in a proposal. His love is for life. His solid exterior hides a delicate heart, and once broken, it heals with great difficulty, and then too the scars remain. Compatibility quotient. Which sun sign can match up to the stubbornness of the bull? And which sun sign is smart enough to appreciate the qualities of the home-loving Taurian? It is strange how one weak point in a man can outweigh his good qualities. But a discerning eye and a loving heart is all that counts to make two people compatible. With the Taurian good sense and love for security, it would be quite a treat for the ladies on the zodiac to be with this man. Taurus Man and Aries woman. 7 on 10. Essentially, these two have disparate qualities. He is too homebound and intense, while she is too outgoing and free-spirited. But if both are able to adjust with each other, this relationship can work out pretty well. Given the fact that 50% Aries women are submissive and easygoing, this could be worth exploring. Taurus woman. 8 on 10. This relationship is bound to be love-saturated and sensuous. However, both are stubborn. Being a man, the Taurus male's stubbornness can take an upper hand, but if he learns to control it, both the Taurians can be compatible. Gemini woman. 8 on 10. Again a great combination, but one that will blossom only after adjustments. It could be important for the Taurus guy to give his Gemini partner ample space and freedom. He in turn can be an anchor to her vivacious mind. Cancer woman. 9 on 10. Although I don't want to use this term, it is unavoidable here. These two are made for each other. She is mysterious and entrancing, and he is loving and caring. He has the ability to give her a secure life, while she is capable of being the perfect woman for him. The undeniable chemistry here could culminate in a lasting romance. Leo woman. 7 on 10. This can be a relationship that's full of spark and sometimes fireworks. Once the Leo girl gets used to the Taurian I-wear-the-trousers attitude, and the Taurus guy accepts her extrovert nature, it would be a joyride for both. She will have to be more patient with him, and he will have to show more understanding to avoid conflicts. Virgo woman. 8 on 10. Another relationship that is likely to work wonders. The Virgo girl meets her match emotionally in the Taurian guy. Also, he has the right amount of passion to influence her. She is feminine enough to suit his taste, and he will be happy looking after her and her womanly needs. Libra woman. 6 on 10. The basic interests of these two might clash. While the Libra girl will like his sensitive and sentimental nature, she will be put off by his possessiveness. The Taurus guy, on the other hand, will find her need to be with friends intriguing and a little disconcerting. Scorpio woman. 5 on 10. These two are too similar to each other, especially on the negative points. Both are stubborn, wanting to have the upper hand, and are also possessive. A lot of compromises would be required at both ends to make this a happy relationship. Even with the spark of romance in the initial stages of this relationship, and it seeming to be headed in some direction, where exactly, would usually be unknown till both learn to adjust. Sagittarius woman. 4 on 10. The Sagittarian girl will not like his bossiness, as she dislikes taking orders from anyone, and with her spirited approach to life, she would find his possessive demeanor an encroachment on her freedom. He, on the other hand, is way too inflexible to suit the taste of the swaying Sagittarian. Capricorn woman. 9 on 10. Her femininity is sure to attract him. The Capricorn girl is responsible enough to take up the role of the woman of the house, while she would thoroughly enjoy being looked after by her man, something the Taurus male loves to do. Aquarius woman. 6 on 10. The compatibility quotient between these two is quite low. His conservative thinking can clash with her unconventional ways. In case of disagreements, it would be difficult to mend matters, as both are willful and unbending. Pisces woman 9 on 10. This combination will work as both can balance each other beautifully. He is sensitive enough to handle her hypersensitivity, while she is romantic enough to deal with his sensuousness. Famous Taurus men personalities: Al Pacino, George Clooney, Sachin Tendulkar, David Beckham, Pierce Brosnan, Sri Ravi Shankar.